Hey, what is up, mortals? It's Welsley here, and welcome to part 5 of Evil Naruto. Just wanted to greet you guys by saying, sit back and relax, you're in for a treat. And so, we begin. It was like any other day in Konoha. The sun was out, the market was bustling, and as ever day by day, young ninja underwent their missions and training to prepare for the bigger world out there. Sasuke roamed the streets of Konoha. He was covered in prestigiously tailored Jonin armor, and alongside him was Sakura, who was dressed in the same way. Sasuke, how long are you going to drag this out? It's been years. Why are you obsessed with tracking down that demon child? Sasuke closed his eyes and sighed. Not that it was any of her business, but thinking back, he couldn't put his finger on it either. The images flooding in his head of the blonde squadmate he was once acquaintances with, and how they fought that one time by the swing set. He was always different, Sakura, but much like my brother, he's also someone I saw as a rival growing up. Don't think I've wasted away in these past few years. Of course, I wouldn't think that, Sasuke. You're working harder than anyone else I can think of in the village. Though I always thought because you're still seeking revenge from your brother. Sakura was trying not to step on any landmines. She knew better than anyone else that going into such a topic would irritate him. That's enough, Sakura. Regardless of the case, no one saw him like how I did. He's much like me in many regards, just a kid who's a lost cause and someone who knows loss. After a few seconds of awkward silence, they both ground to a halt from their leisurely walk. They focused their attention on a wanted poster. On it was a male figure wearing an Oni mask and dark hair. He was shrouded in a black cloak as well. Sakura's eyelids lowered as they continued gazing at the wanted poster. It's been 2 years since the Chunin exams, right? I'm surprised we never caught him yet, the one who infiltrated. Sasuke nodded, and they both continued walking down Konoha streets. In the past few missions I've been on, I was tasked with tracking him down. He's left a few traces behind. He's slipping. Don't worry about it too much, we'll get him. The one who killed Kara. She nodded gently. Later that day, in Konoha's underbelly, a few thieves raced from wall to wall, doing everything in their power to slow down the Uchiha Jonin that was hot on their trail. One of them was holding a package. Sasuke wasn't sure what it was they were holding, but he knew it didn't belong to them. Before the thieves could react, the onyx-haired Jonin set the alley ablaze with Phoenix Flower Jutsu. That's as far as you go. They hesitated before moving towards the alleyway that was perpendicular to their original direction. However, Sakura fell from one of the buildings like a meteor. She smashed the ground up, sending the thieves flying in the air. Their clothes were implanted into the wall of the building, due to Sasuke's prestigious shuriken jutsu techniques. Sakura gave them both a cunning smile. A for effort, guys. Really gotta applaud you. She snatched the contraband from the hands of the one holding it. Shall we open it? Sasuke shook his head in disapproval. Don't be ridiculous, Sakura. We need to give that back to Lord Hiruzen's office. Suddenly, the bag grew hot, and a shimmering red can be seen from underneath its concealment. Sakura dropped it out of shock, and within that time, another person blitzed by the both of them, retrieving the item. Sasuke reacted immediately, by activating his Sharingan, initiating Genjutsu. However, the felon was unfazed by his attempts. So much so, that when the thief gazed over his shoulder to look back at Sasuke, his eyes, it had Sharingan. Sasuke's eyes widened and raced after him. Damn it! Wait, Sasuke! The Jonin ignored her demand and kept following after. Sakura blew out her frustrations before chasing after them both, taking the higher ground. This game of cat and mouse continued throughout Konoha until the apparent Uchiha slid under a secret sliding door at the base of the Konoha western walls. Sasuke followed under as well, but upon reaching the other side, he was met with shuriken hot in his direction. He evaded by a mere hair, and flipped over a few times to recover himself, drawing out a kunai. However, he found himself alone in the forest. Sasuke kept his guard up, making sure to check above him. The Jonin's eyes would scan his surroundings back and forth until once again, shurikens were thrown. He blocked them with little effort, and followed up with a fireball jutsu in the direction of the shuriken's origin. Nothing followed after. "Quit hiding already. I have a date later tonight and I can't miss it." Soon after, the same thief darted out from a few bushes right at Sasuke. Both of them had their kunai ready, but all of a sudden, the thief swept back and forth, side to side, until the illusion of multiple of him were present. An after-image clone? All of the mirages would all attempt to take a slice out of Sasuke, but he moved even faster, using irregular blocking methods with his kunai. He then extracted his tanto from his hip hilt, and dual-wielded the thief's attack masterfully. Amid all the attacks, it was a bit too late for Sasuke to realize that each attack was followed up with super thin wires, and his skin was already getting sliced up by each wire. The Jonin then used his chakra nature aligned with his chakra control to light his blades on fire. The wire would burst into flames and disintegrate in no time. The thief backed up, kunai ready in hand. "Seriously? That was the best you could do? You forsake the Uchiha name." The thief's eyes squinted and followed up with a great fireball technique. Sasuke simply followed with one of his own, and they both cancelled out before exploding outwards. The impact could be felt within the walls of Konoha. Sakura, who was still leaping from building to building, could see the explosion's height surpass the walls. "Sasuke!" She moved quicker in case anything happened to her beloved. After the impact subsided, all that was left was Sasuke, whose back was pressed up against the outer wall of the crater left behind. However, there was no more sign of the Uchiha, nor the package he was carrying. Shit. I thought my clan was wiped out. So why? Why did he have a Sharingan? "Sasuke!" Sakura cried out from the top of the wall as she gazed down at the incident. She leapt down and immediately activated her medical jutsu. "Sasuke, are you alright?" "I'm fine, but he got away." She shook her head no and scoffed. "That doesn't matter right now. I need to see these burn marks." Sasuke gave in and sighed, his tenseness from before easing up. Meanwhile, the Uchiha thief gazed at both of them from a distance away. His body flickered his way back to his master. Back in Orochimaru's lair, the thief let himself in. Kabuto met him at the door. "Ah, I see you've returned. Your master shall be pleased to know the mission was a success." The thief spoke. "Not entirely. Well, now we have a better scope on our enemy's techniques. 2 of us were captured." "You mean the pawns? Don't worry about those. They were merely playing the bait. It would only be an issue if we lost you in this retrieval mission. Though, knowing you, that wouldn't be likely. Do you have the item?" The thief showed the red hot lace bag to Kabuto. "I wouldn't have returned if I didn't. Master doesn't accept failure." The white-haired ninja pushed up his glasses along the bridge of his nose. "I'm glad to see you know your standing with how we work around here. I don't expect any less from an ex-Anbu and Uchiha member. Please, feel free to not hold back while you're out there. You were revived with the Edo Tensei, so your chakra should be limitless. Isn't that right, Shisui Uchiha?" They both entered the main quarters of Orochimaru's lair. Several others were present, standing in front of his throne. Meanwhile, Orochimaru sat idly in his rightful place, bowing with the rest of them. Meanwhile, the Oni-masked man with black hair was the one on the throne. "Shisui, I see you returned." "Yes, my lord." He placed the item right in front of the leader's boots before backing away and bowing with the others present. "Good. I'll see to it that you can see your brother once again. I'll be in contact with the Akatsuki today. During that time, you will be the one to escort me. Just remember to never speak out of turn during the meeting." He stood up from his throne and picked up the item that Shisui was sent out to recover. The eyes of the Oni-masked man squinted with desire and accomplishment. "Finally, after all this time, I finally have my hands on it." He unraveled the bag, and the explosive tags laced around the true item inside fell to the floor. Without even moving, each one was sliced in half by his chakra nature. None of them activated. What was in his hands was a kunai with a tag on it. "Flying Raijin, at long last." "Orochimaru." "Yes, my lord." "See to it that our guests are welcome when they arrive." Orochimaru continued to bow as he walked away out of the room. My, He has everything under control, doesn't he? Soon after, Orochimaru returned into the room. My lord, our guests have arrived. See them in then. Everyone else but Shisui, scatter. Even though his voice was nonchalant, and his temper was non-existent, they did as commanded. Shisui stood up to face them. His face cover was still present, and he hid his Sharingan. Moments later, a group of red cloud-coated individuals allowed themselves in and stood before the one who sat on the throne. I welcome you all. Now, about what we discussed earlier. It's time we initiated the plan. The capture of another Jinchuriki. Matatabi. A few years ago, I was sent on a reconnaissance mission to infiltrate Konoha and extract Shukaku from its Jinchuriki. I have prepared long enough, and it's time we started hunting the rest. With this, it should be easy. He raised the kunai to present it to the menacing group. Pain and Itachi gave a slight reaction to it. Pain was the first to speak out. Is that the flying raging kunai wielded by the fourth Hokage? The tyrant gave a conniving grin behind his Oni mask. Keen eyes as always. Yes, it is. And we shall use it to help us in our pursuit. Haydn spoke out. He was never fond of meetings, nor was he fond of the masked man. That's nice and all, but let's not all forget here that you're on our hit list too. You're also a Jinchuriki. What was your name again, Before he even finished the name, he found himself face first in a crater facing the floor. Meanwhile, the black-haired man had his palm against Hidan's back. Even Pain's expression shifted a bit. He couldn't keep up with the speed of the flying Reijin. You dare speak out of turn before me? Even if you are of the Russian religion, I won't hesitate to give you a slow and agonizing death. What followed after was an intense silence and eerie atmosphere. It was, however, broken by Obito, making light of the situation. Now, come on. We're all friends here, right? Let's not start fights, you hear me, Hidan? You'll get us in trouble. Naruto took a sigh before standing up straight before the rest of them. Apologies, but I don't like it when my old name is spoken. My name is Menma now. You'll do well by remembering it. We'll see you all a week from now in the Cloud Village. You may leave. Lord, if I may speak, how do you know the names of the tailed beasts? Enough questions. Leave. Hidan picked himself up and brushed the rubble off his cloak and bowed. All of them faced the exit and were on their way, though Itachi gazed back at the boy whose face was covered. They all left, and Menma made his way back to the throne. He closed his eyes and re-entered the Kyuubi dreamscape. Long time no see. The cage that once bound the fox was completely gone. Kurama was free from his shackles, though he didn't rampage his way to Naruto. Good. Seems I still have you tamed. I must applaud you, though. The first time you fought for your freedom was a valiant attempt. I managed to learn all of your names from that fight. I'll make sure to never forget them, Kurama. The fox smiled. He's approved of Naruto's growth and is willing to work alongside him, even if it meant recapturing his brothers and sisters. Everything was about to flow into motion. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in the story thus far. Hope you enjoyed it. Now there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, we've got a primary channel called We the Celestials. We the Celestials is what we do here already, but their content is centered around the crazy world and lore of My Hero Academia. So please check us out over there if you're feeling in the mood for a roller coaster of quirky content. We also have another relative to our channel, Anime Deep Dive. Anime Deep Dive goes deep into the facts and lore of a wide variety of anime. It's sure to expand your weeb knowledge for all kinds of series guaranteed. I'd like to let you all know, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details will be in the description below. If you're perhaps interested in what we do here in We the Celestials, then I would like to extend out an invitation to join the team. The only caveat being we only accept members 16 and older to join our crew. You can find us on our Discord, which you can locate in the description below. Our Discord is an all-round fantastic place to be, whether you're a fan or looking to join our band of misfits. All you gotta do is hit up the recruitment server and sign up for whichever category of work that fulfills your interests. We're always looking for more members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video, so thank you all for watching and have a great day.